No one wanted it this way. Joe Biden is a good man, a good American, a great president. But time and the burden of the office means it's time to step aside, to put a warrior into the political arena, ready to take on Donald Trump, to face up to the un-American plan Trump and Project 2025 will impose. Vice President Kamala Harris is ready, experienced, and as a tough prosecutor, Kamala Harris dealt with men like Trump all the time. Rapists, con men, frauds, criminals. She's used to guys like Trump, used to putting them in their place.
Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America?
Kamala Harris will bring something to Trump he's rarely seen. Justice.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Wow, I love that. That was a great ad by the Lincoln Projects. Welcome back to the show. Before we get into tonight's topics, what I wanted to do first, because I haven't done this in a while, is I want to thank all of our subscribers that have been there from the beginning. We did not know what to expect when we started this project back in October. And I also want to thank the people that have donated to the show to help us keep going and to try and upgrade our equipment. Very special thank you to you. If you're watching this show and you decide that you like it enough that you would like to donate, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video. Now, moving on. See, last episode, Mike and I found out, which was Sunday, Mike and I found out that Joe Biden had dropped out as our opening video was playing. Yeah. So we had very little time to process all this information as we were trying to do the show we had originally planned. But now that we've had a couple days to let it sit, let it play out, I gotta admit, this is the first time in a long time that I feel hopeful, not terrified.
I'm afraid of the word hope because it got us somewhere once. Unfortunately, I'm going to use one of those dumb phrases that I think really is meaningless, but lightning can strike twice, but it often doesn't. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic, but I will say one thing. The enthusiasm is more palpable than I expected it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's it.
Yeah, the energy is absolutely amazing. So tonight, what we first want to talk about what we have now come to decide is in just absolutely legendary sacrifice on the behalf of Joe Biden, putting aside his political career, his goals, his aspirations for the sake of saving democracy.
Wait, would you say he acted in a selfless way befitting of an American leader?
He showed about as pure leadership, I think, a pure example of leadership, I think you could possibly even comprehend, giving up
by example.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk about J.D. Vance. Woo! That Donald Trump is immediately regretting that decision. If it was even his decision, I still think it was Heritage Foundation's decision.
Absolutely. It's more evident than ever.
Yeah, and we'll play some videos for you guys. But J.D. Vance is really, really bad at this. He has no charisma. Him and Donald Trump did the most awkward Fox News interview where they looked so uncomfortable next to one another.
It's funny because we always say, I'm not praising Trump by what he says or what he does or anything about him, but you have to give it to them. As far as carnival barkers go, he's good at that. He can get your attention and he can play a crowd. And there is one video that we were watching before the show. I've never literally heard crickets at a political rally, but even the crickets are silent. They were like, no, you're not getting this.
Right. We'll go over some of the right-wing meltdown. Fox News has no idea what to do with this information. It's amazing that you can obviously see they did not plan for this at all. They had no idea this
because they're known for their extensive planning and thoroughness in anything they do.
Right. They just had a celebration of fascism and, to fight against Joe Biden and the deep state at the RNC rally or convention, just to have all the wind taken out of their sails. We're also going to talk a little bit about Trump's rambling, since he's now the oldest. This is so satisfying. He is now officially the oldest presidential candidate in U.S. history.
You know what's funny about that? They were pushing that on Biden, and
I know
a lot of ads from the left now saying, "Oh, Trump is the oldest." But the funny part about that is they're not continuing that sentence and going, "So he's unfit to lead." They may leave an implication, but they're letting the right stew in their own nonsense. They're just going,
they
"Well,
really are.
now Trump is the oldest. So what are you going to say about that?"
It's hilarious. And then we do have some videos of Kamala Harris, her speech she gave after accepting the I don't know, nomination or the endorsement from Joe Biden when she made it official. And then we also have a video from her first rally that she did today, which was absolutely amazing, man. She brought down the house.
Yeah.
She really did.
Yes.
So, all right. But before we get into all these topics, we do have an extra I guess an extra brain to pick on these topics today. We have extra guests
right there for you, an extra voice.
That's right. We have a special guest with us today, so let me bring him in. Please welcome to the show for the first time, Michael Youn. How you doing? Comedian and political TikToker. If you want Mike's videos on TikTok, I do have his TikTok information in the description of the video, so you can check that out as well. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is exciting times.
Yeah.
For Democrats.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, for the whole country, actually.
How about this for anti-fascists?
Yeah, for democracy.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're on the West Coast, where Mike and I are out on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been out in California?
I was born here. I've been here all my life. I was born in Orange County, California, which is a Republican stronghold. They actually went for Obama during his administration. Yeah. They weren't the type of Republican to go for Trump. So I think Trump might have edged out Hillary, but it was very, very close. And then I think they went for Biden in the last election. But yeah, and now the only real city in Orange County that's still crazy, insane Trump, MAGA, is Huntington Beach. And you'll see a lot of videos of crazy people from there if you search for them. There's many.
Miss California. I was born out in Monterey, and actually moved. While I was a military kid, so we moved around a lot. So I started my life, and my father also retired when I was 15. So I got to live in California a couple times. But yeah, nice area. I love it out there.
Yeah,
much nicer than the mountains of Pennsylvania. I give you that much. So okay,
I'll have to visit sometime.
Yeah, don't bother. It sucks up here. I'm just kidding. It's nice.
Can I just say one more thing about my upbringing? So yeah, and I can kind of understand like how the Republicans operate because I began life in that mindset, and that mindset was you don't really pay attention to words. Like even back then, which is like 20, 25 years ago, you don't really pay attention to like evidence. You just you just be a troll kind of like for your side, and that was true even back then. And with the Obama in his campaign, with the whole talking about the healthcare issue, I couldn't get healthcare prior to Obama, and that is when I started paying attention to politics, and that's when I actually looked into like what Republicans and Democrats were saying, and I that's when I realized that Democrats were telling the truth on most issues, while Republicans were just a lot of times just straight up lying. Yeah, and I couldn't, and I was I couldn't believe that I was in that mindset for so long. So yeah. Anyway, that's how I became a Democrat and how I'm kind of watching.
A recovering Republican. We accept all in our Big Tent. That's the difference.
Right. Yeah. But it's good you bring up the health insurance aspect of it because that's one of the things they want to get rid of. They want to completely destroy the Affordable Care Act and make it.
Oh, you said it correctly for once. Not Obamacare.
Yeah, right. So millions
Obama's okay with that.
could lose their insurance due to pre-existing conditions because they would privatize it again.
Yep.
And just make it a 100% for profit
Make
operation.
even more money off us, our suffering.
So, all right, Michael, since you're new here, I want to ask you first, what was your first initial response when you found out Joe Biden was stepping down? Not stepping down, but not running again.
So the way I found out was my friend who was convinced that Biden would not step down. He texted, "Fuck." Am I allowed to curse?
Yes. Yeah. We try and keep it low number, but yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, and I immediately knew what he meant, what he was talking about. And so of course, I looked at my phone and Washington Post alert, Joe Biden drops out of the 2024 race. And I was like, oh shit. And I didn't have any emotion. I don't know at that time because I kind of felt bad for Joe Biden because I do respect the man. I think he's a decent man. He was trying his best. I mean he's and but since then, I'm just overwhelmed by the enthusiasm that Kamala is receiving. I think someone described it as like Obama, like this time. It reminds them of Obama. I don't think I don't know if she's going to reach those heights, but I mean it is similar, a similar feeling to that.
What I like about that parable is that, let's just say there have been times in recent memory that the Republicans have provided disasters for us. George W. Bush, Donald Trump, and every time the Democrats put up someone that we could not just like and rally behind, but give us hope that we could move past the damage that was done. With Bush, it was the international reputation, all of that nonsense. The increased Islamophobia, and that's where this all began. Tea Party and all of that began there. The difference is Joe Biden didn't have the enthusiasm and Obama did because we were just hoping we wouldn't have to suffer under more Trump. So Biden was like our last chance at that moment to survive this. But now that we saw it was possible to defeat Trump, and we know we could defeat Trump again, but now we have someone that surprisingly gives a fresher outlook on things and brought an energy that we didn't expect. Because as of right now, we were still rallying behind we got to just stop Trump. We got to stop Trump. And while we still have to make that the main message,
good point.
She's offering a chance to also look beyond stopping Trump and giving us finally the younger generation of the left that might be able to carry us into a better future. So and that is the most hopeful I will ever sound. And I don't even know where that just came from. So my bad.
Yeah, in case any, I know, right? Because you were starting to struggle with this for a little bit there.
I'm still
doom and gloom
all over the place, but I'm starting to.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, it's been a hell of a 60 days. I mean, Donald Trump got convicted. Then he got shot, and then Joe Biden drops out, and then they have the RNC fascist clown show that was in there. So I mean, it's been a hectic couple months, to say the least. But the one thing I like about this one, it's bringing back celebrities that backed off of Biden, as well as big donors that backed away from Biden. Like George Clooney supports Kamala Harris, and he just recently, not that I give a shit about what George Clooney thinks, but you know what I'm saying? So, and at the same time, it's also freaking out people because let me pull this overlay up. It's freaking out people to the point where, in case you haven't heard, Elon Musk, I got to show this one right now.
Whoops.
Elon Musk backs down from $45 million a month pledge to Trump, said he doesn't subscribe to cult of personality.
Now that is huge. That phrase. Now, again, I'm not praising Musk for anything because the guy's a peanut, okay, with access to an emerald mine fund. That's all he is, okay? But to use the phrase cult of personality puts a massive wedge between a relationship Donald Trump thought he had. Let's not forget, the only relationships Donald Trump has are transactional. He just lost that in Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is saying he's not going to put his money where his mouth is just for some guy everyone thinks I should give my money to. That's, in my mind, that's a bigger statement than anything Elon Musk could have done. Michael, opinion?
Uh-oh. Are you breaking up on us a
Uh-oh.
little bit?
Oh, no.
That's okay.
I want his
No big
opinion.
deal. Michael, can you hear us?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
I
You're
think.
breaking up for a second there. Yeah. So, all right. Let's go
I
ahead
can,
and
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm breaking. Yeah.
All right. We got it. No worries. Let me go ahead and play the first video. This is talking about when we're getting into JD Vance and Kevin Roberts and Heritage Foundation, all that stuff tied together, because Trump is still trying to deny being remotely involved with Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation, which is ridiculous because most of his former staff are involved in it. So let me play this video real quick of Kevin Roberts being very excited about the promotion of JD Vance.
We have confirmed news that Senator Vance is the vice presidential running mate. You will see a broad smile on my face because you may know that we're good friends. I will offer 2 comments about that. The first is the entire list of names considered are great men and women, truly, all of them friends of Heritage. There, among them, though, was someone that privately we were really rooting for, and he's just been named the running mate. Why were we rooting for him? Not even because of politics and policy, but because of who he is.
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good. I love you guys. But
that is the most cringe moment. This guy has the personality of a wet rag. Michael, what did you think? What did you think when they first put JD Vance in there? Because me and Mike immediately figured it was just the Heritage Foundation doing their job. And I personally don't think Trump even wanted JD Vance to begin with. MAGA didn't want JD Vance. So the only thing I could determine was that Heritage Foundation wanted JD Vance.
I just thought another grifter, another guy, and I was wondering about what like his anti-Trump stance at the when he first became known to Americans. I was wondering how that was going to fly, and I guess Trump doesn't really care about that, but. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think that much of it, other than, I didn't see how that pick would get Trump more votes. Like that was just Trump's. He judges everything by appearance. He's very aesthetically, that's his criteria, how someone looks, like central casting. So I just thought
he does tend to comment on men's looks often.
Yeah, and I just thought this is not a strategic choice. And now it's come out that the rumors are that Trump's team is very, very disappointed in this pick, especially in light of Kamala Harris or Joe Biden dropping out. Yeah. And they can't do anything about it now, so they're stuck.
I wonder if, and we all know that Trump is an uncontrollable creature. So we know he doesn't listen to his lawyers, his team, his campaign. He just does what he does because he has a whim, right? He thinks that's made him a success. In fact, it's just made him a massive criminal. But I bet you his team probably didn't even know until Trump said the words. Because I think I agree with Jeremy a lot. This was a heritage placement, because look, Donald Trump is not going to be alive forever. Whether he would survive a term in office, whether he would relinquish the office or not and stay for as long as he could, the Heritage Foundation knows that Donald Trump is just a stupid tool. He doesn't have an ideology of any kind. So, but JD Vance, who wrote the foreword for the Heritage Foundation's creator's book, by the way, it's more than just friends, okay? JD Vance is one of the true believers in the ideology of Christian nationalism. So they want to make sure someone's in there that will forward the cause, if you will. So I don't think there was any discussion about what Vance brings to the table, what he is good at or bad at. He's a terrible public speaker. He's barely been in Washington for an hour and a half. And
Right.
it's another pasty white guy. Like, they didn't find someone whiter than Mike Pence, but they found someone stupider than Mike Pence, but more devious. So look, he was never going to pick a woman. He was never going to pick a person of color. He was always going to pick a white guy. This is what they
this
got.
is like this is a very racist white Christian nationalist movement. So to think, but like Michael said, this does not help him at all gain vote. It doesn't help him with women voters. It doesn't help him with suburban voters. It doesn't help him with African American voters, Latino voters. Nothing. It does nothing for him. It really doesn't.
And then you saw how MAGA attacked his wife. So that didn't help
Immediately.
They didn't.
There is no room for biracial children in the MAGA future.
Yeah.
No.
The child's name is Vivek, ironically. But
really,
he's JD Vance is a Peter Thiel creation, and another group that's really hopeful. Yeah, and a lot of another group that's really hopeful about his VP candidacy is Tech Bros. He's the Tech Bros. He's the Tech Bros guy. Yeah, like crypto, all of that.
Peter Thiel.
That's a good point. Vance probably dropped the Bitcoin bullshit on Trump, and Trump was like, "I love the coins. I love to collect coins.
I love
because he always talks about crypto like he even knows what it is."
No, seriously, Donald Trump once said that he wants to make sure that Bitcoin is made in America. Like, he thinks Bitcoins are actual physical coins. So the guy's a complete.
Of course he did.
Ironically, if they want to mine all the Bitcoin in America, we're gonna probably need renewable energy to source all that. That's
no kidding. All right, so I'm play another video. This is JD Vance insulting Kamala Harris's resume, which we'll get into here in a second too. We have some overlays about that. And this guy's a billionaire funded opportunist. And he has the nerve to, and the way he phrases it, it's very racist. Most people probably wouldn't pick up on it, but the way he says she collects a government check. She's worked for the government. She hasn't collected a government check. So let's play this video.
About our likely opponent, Kamala Harris, because, she said a couple of days ago that I showed no loyalty to the United States, that I have no loyalty to the United States. Well, I don't know Kamala. I served in the United States Marine Corps, and I built a business. What the hell have you done other than collect a government check for the past 20 years?
Okay, can I just say something? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you first.
Okay, I just want to say, but he's working under a guy that notoriously didn't go into the armed forces for a bullshit reason.
Right.
So it's... that's.
And he wasn't. He was like a public relations guy. Like, he says Marines, like he was doing combat and all that stuff.
No. Yeah. He wasn't. He didn't. I don't. He didn't see
media relations or something like that.
Also, Kamala collecting a government check was while she was a prosecutor trying to uphold law and order and also fight criminals, the people that you think are overrunning this country. The people the law and order you claim to be the party of there, JD Vance, they don't even know how to insult anyone except for racism. So now I'm trying to wonder, what was he trying to say with the government check? Was he literally trying to say a racist thing?
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
It's the welfare state all over again. Look, it's like, okay, you and your viewers probably already know this, but I'll just say it really, really fast. I think Barack Obama was the first guy to win without a majority of white support. I think he lost.
I vaguely remember that statistic,
but he lost both times. And so, after Obama's presidency, the Republican Party had a choice. They were going to reach out to, people of color, and they were all prepared to do that, right? They had a platform all printed out, but then Trump came along and they threw all that away. And this is a continuation of that. They need to. This is the the white base you know, they're whistle, blowing to the dog whistling to the white bass, and they're congealing that. They're working on that
Yep.
sentiment. And
Yep.
so when you ask, so it's definitely a dog whistle. It's definitely racist.
Like I'm just shocked that he was that blatant with it. Is kind of what I'm coming from. Like, I mean, again, not
right.
Now
shocked
that
in
you
the
mention
blatant racism, but like that was one step from like literally using certain words you're not supposed to use. Like,
All right,
yeah.
innuendo.
Let me show.
No, direct.
Let me show Laura Loomer's post. Okay.
Oh,
This
please.
is so awful. And this is, of course, one of Donald Trump's favorite proxies. This is Laura Loomer's post. And on the bottom right, you'll see a before and after MAGA picture. And I did not change the picture on the right.
She was
promise you.
magnified.
Yeah. It's time for Republicans to start talking about Kamala Harris's sexual history and the reason she likely doesn't have children of her own. I'm willing to bet she has had so many abortions that she damaged her uterus. Like, just disgusting.
Wait, look.
That's disgusting.
Look, I'm just gonna. This is one of the reasons why Kamala taking all this up is a boon for us, because this is the kind of thing that mainstream Republicans are trying to hide, but these are the kind of things that are coming to the forefront. And it's impossible for it not to, with our candidate being a person of color and a woman. So it's like they can't help themselves.
No, it's funny because they have no. We've said this a million times, and it's not like it's some novel theory we've come up with. But the Republicans don't exist in the world of platform, of policy. They literally are bullies who were given a checkbook. So their only understanding of how to fight back is to be their worst selves. So yeah, on one hand, I was shocked Vance was like going to go that far, but at the same time, I'm not shocked that a despicable nobody failure congressional candidate in Laura Loomer, who's a MAGA obsessed cultist, would be that disgusting, that anti-woman, that just sinister, if you will.
This is what we're going to see.
There's so
over
many different levels of insult in that tweet, and that's why, by the way, I'm going to do a quick plug for our new Substack, the Voice of Reason for All.substack.com. Today was an article just about that tweet, because it couldn't have come at a better time. It was one of the first major shitty tweets that came out after Harris accepted Biden's endorsement, and it set the stage for what is going to be the tamest of the rhetoric we're going to see moving forward.
They're going to it's going to get disgusting over the next couple months, I promise you, because they don't know how to handle Kamala Harris. They have no strategy whatsoever. So
like at one point, they're going to be like, a woman? Really?
Yeah, they're going to go racism. They're going to go misogyny.
At this time, I think it's against their best interest to do that. I mean, it worked for them in 2016. But I mean, we had immediately had like a bad candidate, but now like they've been trying to tamp all this down. Like that whole convention was about unity and like let's all come together. But now that's all gone away. And the first indication of that was when Trump went off script during his acceptance speech.
Yep.
Oh wow.
We're talking about
no one knows.
Yeah. And so that was the first brick to fall. I mean, in their little platform of unity. Let's all come together. Let's all be peaceful. But now that's all out the window now.
It's funny because they will try anything. They will try anything to pretend they aren't what they are, but yet they're very proud of what they are, and they will always resort to their basic instincts. If you're someone who respects democracy, respects law, respects human rights, no matter how shitty things get, how frustrated you are, your default is not going to try and take those things away from people and debase those things. Your values are your values. When you're in a corner, you have to hold on to everything that you are in your core. And right now, the Trump campaign, if you want to call it that, let's just say the raging cult of Trump, is so in disarray because they don't know anymore how to hide the last shred of shittiness that they are. And they're going to turn off. They can't gain voters, but they still have plenty of room to lose voters.
Think about this. Joe Biden, by dropping out, Joe Biden has taken away their, not just, he's taken away their entire identity. Their whole identity was F Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's old, incompetent. Like, they literally had, they were like, with 3 months left, are they going to buy all new merch? Like, are they going to get F Kamala shirts? I mean, are they
all the memes with like "Let's Go Brandon" signs and stuff that have Spirit Halloween stuff over it? It's just giving me life today.
It is so good. All right, so let me get into another one of these videos. Let me play the Fox News meltdown because they really have no clue what to do with this news.
This is great.
Yeah, they're focused. They actually made a montage of her laughing. That was what they were complaining about. She laughs. Oh my God.
She's a pleasant human being. Oh my God.
Well, Donald Trump has not laughed. I don't think.
Hey, JD, who was it that said Donald Trump is? Oh, that Tucker Carlson speech at the RNC or something where he says Donald Trump is the funniest guy.
Funniest guy. Last time I saw Donald Trump laugh in a video was actually the one where he was dancing with Jeffrey Epstein, looking at girls. Oh, sorry. I had to bring that up since the one comment was about that. All right, let me play this video.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements.
I check it on the daily. Her public schedule, gentlemen, rarely has anything on it or one or two things on it.
And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary.
She wants to ban plastic straws. I love my plastic straw. I hate those paper straws. Anyway.
We're going to let donors handpick a new nominee. They're publicly admitting that they are an oligarchy. They are not running a democracy. They are not running a representative republic. This is an oligarchy controlled by business interests.
She does not speak well. She does not work hard.
All right, so Kellyanne, let me ask you.
And she should not be the standard bearer for the party.
This is as full frontal an attack on American democracy as we've ever seen.
Yeah, Stephen Miller literally said they filled out circles. I'm like, please tell me that your defense of this wasn't that they went in and went like this. They filled out circles. Oh no, like we couldn't fill out some more circles. Okay, anyway, but that's what they're doing on Fox News. They're just completely melting down, and they're using the term DEI hire.
Oh, gee,
which
it's
again,
so
like,
racist.
It's just another dog whistle. It's their way of using the N word without actually saying the N word.
They want to say it's so bad on television.
I think between now and the election, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
JD Vance. JD Vance, we're calling you racist because of stuff like this.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not your Mountain Dew.
Wait! I got to bring up this comment that I assume is for Stephen Miller.
He does have a penis head. He does. You're absolutely correct.
That's all.
All right.
Okay. Can I just say something about that real fast?
No, yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Penis head?
Well, he's part of it.
Sorry.
He does look like a penis head. So first I was shocked how angry they were, but then I was even more shocked by how ready they are to show how angry they are. Like you don't do that. You never let them see you sweat, right?
Good
but
point.
Then I heard something. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get in the minds of low information voters. And since our attacks on their not they're the big lie and all that stuff, that they found those attacks very, very successful, the insurrection and all that, and so they're trying to put that on the Democratic Party, and that's for people who don't really know how things work. So they think they're trying to get to the stupid people. They think there are that many stupid people left in this country that don't, and I don't know, maybe they're right.
Well, but that's
we'll see.
That's a good point because it kind of like reinforces like what we've been saying. Their base is their base. It's not growing. Okay, maybe if Trump had picked Nikki Haley, he might have peeled off some voters. Fine, sure. But we knew he wasn't gonna, and he didn't. So all you have now in this pasty, scumbaggy, white, horrible, racist group of people running on the Republican ticket right now, like you said, are appealing to the worst people in this country, or the people that adhere to the worst of human nature in this country.
Right.
So, but they're not gaining anyone. They're not going to gain anyone.
But this is their attempt at trying to gain more people.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there are that many people who haven't decided yet that are that out of the loop to think that. So. Okay, I hope so, because that is really stupid. That is really fucking stupid.
And I don't mean to be terribly insulting, but honestly, with 4 months out, if you don't know who you're voting for, you're
right. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the undecided are the undecided voters the beacons of logic they think they are, or are they just the people that are afraid to commit because maybe they don't actually understand what's really going on? So to your point, maybe there are some people that are low information and other low things that
think that the Democratic.
Okay, I may have more proof of your guys' theory that there's a lot of stupid people in this country. This is a tweet. This is a fake tweet.
Oh,
but MAGA thought it was real. I swear to God.
Of course they did.
Is funny. Huh?
Of course they always think everything's real.
Well, it was on Facebook. It was on Facebook, and someone's aunt sent it to them, so it was clearly vetted.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So Mike and I on the last show joked around, like, are we really starting to think that like Donald Trump supporters think he doesn't have he doesn't poop, or like he doesn't have a butthole like Kim Jong-un?
He has his way.
All right, so here's the fake tweet. This is fake again, fake, but funny. It took my entire ear off, the whole ear. But I went to the doctor, and he said. And this is true. Oh my God, it sounds like Trump. He said, "You heal faster than anyone I've ever seen. Nobody is healthier than you." And the next day, my ear was growing back.
Oh my God. He's Wolverine.
And the doctor says nobody regrows ears like that. It's really a remarkable thing. Regrowing an ear like that, most people can't do it. And I know that because it's not me saying this, it's the doctor. It's everybody saying just you're the best at regrowing ears. And at the time I found this, it was at 816,000 views. And some of the comments.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, you guys all heard that story, right? In back in like 2015 or 16, where a guy in Santa Monica, he found in a newspaper that was supposed to troll. He wanted to troll right wingers, and he was putting out stories that he thought were so like crazy. He didn't think anyone would believe them, but of course, right-wing media picked him up and ran with them. And then he tried the same thing with left-wing, and they lasted about 10 minutes before they were like, "Oh no, this isn't real. Oh, get out of here. That's not." It's like it's because, and so like I think earlier you asked like if people were different before and after Trump. I think the Republicans go after people with that in their mind, and then they exploit that. They exploit people without those like defenses,
skills.
Critical, AKA critical thinking skills. Yeah, right.
All right, so let's play some videos.
That's exactly.
Let's play some videos of Donald Trump at his, because we're going to compare Biden. Now we're going to compare not Biden and Trump, but now we're going to compare Kamala Harris and Trump. Damn, there's a huge difference.
The Republicans got what they wanted. Biden's gone.
They caught the car. Now they don't know what to do with it. They were chasing the car. They caught it. Now they're like, can
I just say one thing really, really fast?
Yep, go ahead.
The one telling thing about Republicans, so, I was shocked by how like unprepared they were. But the reason I heard that the Republicans were so unprepared for Biden dropping out is because they cannot conceive of anyone giving up that power. They can't. They can't. It's not. It's outside the realm of their thinking. They don't think of honor or respect or duty. They couldn't, like, what? He gave up all that? No way.
Donald Trump said it himself. He had no reason to uphold the Constitution. He never believed it, his oath. He never ever believed that he had any understanding of what the office of president meant. And they only think that the president has the power that Trump tries to use, because they all believe that the president is some sort of, like, I don't know, omnipotent creature, when they're just like the head diplomat. They're just the one that's supposed to help the public through tough times. That's it. But they think that the president, it's why they believed Obama was doing all the things that they said they did. It's why they think Joe Biden is doing all the things that they said he was doing, because they believe the office is some sort of magical wizard, and it isn't. And why would anyone give up unlimited magical wizard power? You wouldn't.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it. It's an
especially
office
now
of service, and he
yeah,
gave it up.
Right.
Especially now that the Supreme Court said that he could do anything.
No kidding. That's scary, especially if, all right. So this is where we're gonna. All right. So now that you said that, Supreme Court gave the president ultimate power, basically. So let's see if you guys would honestly want to give power to this dipshit. This is him talking about how he's going to handle Kim Jong-un, the brutal dictator of North Korea. He's going to tell him, man, you just got to chill, man. I'm not playing. Just watch this.
You know, a lot of times the press would say he gets along with Kim Jong-un, North Korea. He has a lot of nuclear weapons. I got along with him great. You were never in danger with me as your president. It's a good thing to get along, not a bad thing. I used to tell him, why don't you do something else? All he wants to do is buy nuclear weapons and make them. I said, just relax, chill. You got enough. You got so much nuclear weapons, so much. I said, just relax. Go to let's go to a baseball game. I'll show you what a baseball. We'll go watch the Yankees, or we'll come watch Michigan at its home opener. Okay, how about that?
So according to this guy, Donald Trump, all Kim Jong-un talks about is his nuclear weapons. And Donald Trump just like, chill, man.
You got plenty of
enough.
Weapons.
You got enough nuke. Let's go see a Michigan football game instead. It's so stupid, man.
Maybe.
I don't. What do you say? You can't mock someone that exists in a state of perpetual buffoonery. Everything he does, he thinks, he says, every move he makes, every expression, every bodily gesture is absolutely clownish. There's no more to make fun of. We could laugh at the individual things he said, but now we're just like nitpicking in a way, because he's just such a ridiculous dope. What the hell are we even like? We are in the worst version of the Matrix.
I mean, there are, drawbacks to being friendly with people like that. You don't want to be friends with those types of tyrants.
He believes that, he's just saying that, like, being friends with the bad guys is a good thing. But that means you're one of the bad guys. That's how this works. We all grew up reading comic books or watching cartoons. Everyone knows there's good guys and bad guys, and the bad guys are the ones that threaten other people with weapons.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that we might be
and starve their own people.
Yeah,
and put their own people into generational prison camps.
Exactly. That's on their agenda as well. All right, so let's play this next video of Donald Trump praising. We just found out Elon Musk is pulling his donations, so it makes this video just so much better, because here's Donald Trump at a rally praising Elon Musk and then talking about his awesome rockets.
And Elon, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says. And if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay.
Doesn't say
you can't have 100% electric cars. And so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. The first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket motor engine, come down landing straight up in no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. And I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one. I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before.
Okay.
I mean, it's not just some rambling old guy. It's like the presidential candidate.
No, but you know what's funny specifically about that? I remember when those videos were coming out because it was a big deal to be able to have a rocket land itself because reusable rocketry is the only way.
Oh no, it's very cool.
But the funny part about that, and I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, a dork, whatever you want to say. I love that spacey crap. Okay, so I might have had a higher interest in that stuff, so I was aware of it. And you can't expect everyone to be aware of that type of stuff because most people are not going to sit around and go, oh, hey, did you hear they might be close to developing self-landing rocketry? But the point is, the way he says that is if Elon Musk had anything to do with it. Again, Elon Musk is someone who took his daddy's blood emerald money and just puts it into things as a venture capitalist, or vulture capitalist, as I like to say. Elon Musk did not invent anything. He doesn't make any actual decisions. Now that when he started controlling things, he made ridiculous decisions like bringing toilet seats to the head of Twitter or something like that when he bought it. But the point is, Donald Trump trying to pass off something that is a scientific achievement and attributing it to Elon Musk is a perfect exemplar for what the Republican Party is. We don't understand how any of this works, but that guy made it really nice package, so we're going to praise that guy, give him money.
Well, you know, Donald Trump is very intelligent because he had an uncle that was a professor at MIT.
That's true. Look,
that's how that works.
Saying that, and I think everyone should have an uncle that was in MIT. I think that would solve all of our problems.
That is one of my favorite stories.
You know, Elon, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this might have a lot to do with it. I don't know if you guys heard. Elon tweeted out a picture of Chairman Xi, the president of China, in Winnie the Pooh attire, which, if you know anything about China, that's a no-no. Okay. You don't do that. And so I think a friend of mine tweeted me how it affected Tesla, and I think I don't know. I haven't verified that yet. I didn't have time. But yeah, and he's trying to get a factory. He's trying to get Xi to do something with his factory in China, which is now the biggest factory that Tesla has. And he tweeted that out. I think one analyst called it a business suicide. Xi is. I mean, he definitely is not going to like that. So what he's going to do about it, I don't know. He's going to do something soon, but that might be one reason why he's not giving Trump $45 million anymore. But yeah, I don't know.
No, you're 100% right. It just goes to show these are a bunch of little man babies with too big of a sandbox, too many toy soldiers, and they don't know how to interact. There was a comment on my Instagram today. Someone's railing about a while ago. Jeremy posted the picture of the Trump airplane and like a Russian airplane, and this has been going on. Trolls keep coming to that video and leaving comments, and it's just fun. Every day there's a new idiot trying to comment on it. So the point is they were like, well, he's just trying to negotiate peace and whatever. So my comment was, he's under whose authority? Trump can't just negotiate. But then the response was, it's everyone's responsibility to do what's right. And I'm like, stop with these bullshit, empty phrases. None of these people have the slightest understanding how anything works. Elon Musk might be a billionaire, but he's a child. The guy has the mental acuity of a child who keeps touching the stove and keeps shoving the crayons up his nose. That's what Trump and Elon and all these people are.
You could definitely tell that by his tweets, for sure. How immature he is. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our new future president, Kamala Harris.
Some good stuff.
Yeah. So let me first play the video of her. This is when I first announced or accepted. I can't remember exactly what
accepted the Biden's endorsement.
There we go. Accepted the endorsement.
She technically still needs to be nominated, but she did secure more than enough delegates.
Yes.
Within 12 hours.
This was after she made it official. There we go.
So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
She is getting just absolutely fantastic responses from her audience. Her
this is
rally was probably the most energized rally that I've seen yet, obviously, because difference in age, 30 years or whatever, 20 plus years. So yeah.
Well,
I'm
but look,
actually
JD Vance
feeling
didn't
inspired.
get that reaction. JD Vance is
God,
not
no.
capable of motivating people like that.
No, I mean, she's getting standing ovation, just screaming chants, and people are excited about this.
You know what?
And I think
before we
we're
go,
gonna see a female
I
president.
want to bring a comment up that we just got that is becoming a talking point from the left, and I don't know this person's leanings. I wonder if poor old Joe. Wait, sorry,
Okay,
that wasn't the one.
Okay.
Here we go. We have to have Kamala Harris, who nobody whatsoever voted on to be the Democrat nominee for president. So Democratic. So this is clearly a Republican troll to save democracy. Okay, so let me point this out. I don't know if people don't understand how this works. So Joe Biden was elected president in 2020, and his running mate was Kamala Harris. So when the American people voted for Joe Biden, the president, they also are casting vote for the vice president. Now, this is where things get tricky if you don't know how anything works. If Joe Biden, as the incumbent, was the presumptive nominee, and he was voted for by Democrats, and it was assumed that he was going to stay the nominee, as is tradition for the incumbent, then the person you voted for as vice president would then also be considered someone that have voted for, because when you vote, you are, and you should be voting for, if the president dies, who's going to take over immediately. And if you don't vote that way, guess what? You're voting for a cult of personality. But most people on the left understand how casting a vote works. So I just want to put this bullshit to rest. Okay, Kamala Harris might not be your choice. She might not have been the person I chose if it was an open forum. I don't know. I don't know who that field would be. And I know you're going to say that's your point, but it isn't, because the people voted on Kamala Harris. Also, all that campaign money would disappear if it wasn't Kamala Harris, and then we would not be winning the election. So learn how things work before you comment. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, also, I don't understand why they care how we choose our leaders. Why are they commenting on that process?
But no, wait, now whoever this is, they've devolved into personal attacks. I'm not going to give it any air, but they've just shown their whole ass. So yeah, now they just keep insulting us. It's awesome. Okay, we can keep
kick
going.
them out of the chat. We don't have time.
I'm gonna, but I only brought that one up because it is something I'm seeing coming from people on the left who are still.
I mean, obviously, we're striking a nerve if they're freaking the fuck out.
No, can someone give me like a reason why, like, we should be concerned about what they're bringing up at all?
No.
Or why they should be concerned about it? Like I'm not. I don't understand this.
They're very concerned with what's legal and what's not. I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
Republicans
are the party of law and order.
That's right. Of course. You know, my mistake.
Even though they're voting for a felon. You know, there's one thing I think MAGA keeps forgetting that's going to happen between now and Election Day. Donald Trump has sentencing coming up. Y'all better think about that, because his actions between when he was convicted and when he gets sentenced are going to come into play. And he's acting like a complete horse's ass right now. All right, why don't you go over some of these overlays we have before we run out of time, and then I have one more video for us.
So I think it's important to just go over a little bit of Kamala Harris's history. Most people don't know anything about the vice president, no matter who they are, because let's face it, like I just said, people tend to forget that they actually serve a purpose, being a tiebreaker in the Senate and all. So it's interesting to know, especially when the right likes to preach so many things like they're the party of tolerance, right? They love immigrants, just don't be brown, but they love immigrants. And they're the party of law and order. They love the cops. You got to prosecute those criminals. Keep that in mind. So, Harris was born October 20th, 1964 in Oakland, California, to parents who met as civil rights activists. Her hometown and nearby Berkeley were at the heart of the racial and social justice movements of the time, and Harris was both a product and a beneficiary. This is a woman who is steeped in deep understanding of the inequities this country has forced upon certain people throughout its history. Okay, and it gets better. Harris's parents divorced when she was young, and she was raised by her mother alongside her younger sister, Maya. She attended Howard University, historically black school in Washington, and joined the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, which became a source of sisterhood and political support. If you don't know anything, that's a big deal because a lot of people succeed through the networks that they make, especially in school, and this is one that she has relied on in her career. What about her career? Well, after graduating, she returned to the San Francisco Bay Area for law school and chose a career as a prosecutor, for law and order, a move that surprised her activist family, which, as a pause, makes sense. A lot of people who are political activists tend to be on the left, are like the anti-man people, why are you working for the man? Well, she figured she could fix things from the inside. And here we go. She said she believed that working for change inside the system was just as important as agitating from outside. By 2003, she was running for her first political office, taking on the longtime San Francisco district attorney. So, why is this important? There might be things that a lot of people, including the left, might not be happy about any prosecutor's past, okay? But there are times where you have to look at a whole and see what things were put in place to try and break up the system that some people are just part of and cannot escape. Well, as ADA, she launched the Back on Track initiative that sought to reduce recidivism among low-level drug trafficking defendants. When you give people a chance to feel hope, they give you hope. Ms. Harris said of the program, the Bay Area program grew into what will become Felton Institute's Young Adult Court. It's an innovative court diversion program led by the Felton Institute and San Francisco Superior Court. It's the first of its kind nationwide. It's a compassionate alternative to traditional criminal proceedings for eligible young adults. It's a collaborative court diversion partnership for transitional age youth facing felony charges, provides an opportunity for their records to be expunged in exchange for successful participation and graduation from the program. It basically gives kids the resources to not fall back into the traps. The forward-thinking vice president made her mark in the Bay Area as San Francisco District Attorney, elected in 2003. She was instrumental in advancing criminal justice reform. What's important is the standard she set with that program started to proliferate amongst all of the states. A lot of states are now investing time in realizing if we take little kids who often come from god-awful situations and we keep making them felons and keep punishing them and we don't give them a way out, what we do is we have an overstuffed prison population where rich people make money to just keep people in prison because we don't have a way to keep people out of prison. And when we talk about prison being for reform and to get people to stop being criminals, that's bullshit. Prison is a punishment. It's the programs you implement either in prison or as an option to that might help people become better citizens and perform their civic duty. That's what changes youth. That's what changes our culture of imprisonment in this country. And that is something that Kamala Harris, I'd love to see work with people and adapt nationwide. Why do people keep going to prison? What are the reasons? The point here is that she was a prosecutor. The Republicans love cops, which means they should be loving prosecutors, except the ones in New York, right? But Kamala Harris is someone that understands the justice system. She understands the inequities in it. She also understands grassroots activism and the need for it. She is someone that respects protest and respects law and order. There cannot be a better candidate for progressives on the left than someone who steps in both worlds and has succeeded in both endeavors.
Her and Donald Trump are actually, they have something in common. They're actually linked in the past, aren't they? Apparently.
All right. So apparently, I didn't notice when I put this overlay together, but not just Donald Trump, but Ivanka Trump contributed what many of us would consider large sums of money to re-elect Attorney General Kamala Harris in 2014. That is Donald Trump's ridiculous signature. That is for $5,000. Of course, it's fake news. So again, if anyone has really spent time looking into Donald Trump, you could find plenty of videos where he talks about how he usually likes to vote Democrats because they're better for the economy, and anyone votes Republican is stupid. In fact, he has said if he ever ran for politics, he would run as a Republican because the voters are so stupid. So now, MAGA, you have a chance to vote for a candidate who is someone who stands for law and order, who is someone who has tried to stop crime in innovative ways that just don't bloat the system. And you want to know why they let criminals go? Because of overcrowding. So if you want to fix the system, you have to do it from within. There's your candidate. Vote for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. Vote for the prosecutor over the convicted felon.
At this point, it's not even like, I don't even see that there really right now is only one option for president of the United States. Donald Trump's not fit for office. Anybody that thinks otherwise is in complete and total denial.
Look, it's
so all right.
Wait.
Here we go. Yep, forgot about that.
This was stuff she brought up in her speech today, but I love this one single tweet passed along by No Lies with Brian Tyler Cohen, who I suggest you check into. He's awesome. Kamala saying, I prosecuted sex offenders. Trump is one. I shut down for-profit scam colleges. He ran one. I held big banks accountable. He's owned by them. I'm not just prepared to take on Trump. I'm prepared to beat him.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That is something Joe Biden could never have said.
No, that's true. All right, so I have one final video, and then I want to get Michael's reaction from her first rally today. So this I thought was great.
He and his extreme Project 2025 agenda will weaken the middle class. Like, we know we got to take this seriously. Can you believe they put that thing in writing? Read it. It's 900 pages. But here's the thing. When you read it, you will see Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and make working families foot the bill. They intend to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back then to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back. Not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back.
Oh, did she just come up with a campaign slogan?
I think so. But Michael, you said because this would affect you, especially like the Affordable Care Act part of it, because you said that said you were born with, or is this something?
I was being denied health insurance because I had a pre-existing condition. And that's when I, started paying attention to politics. Yeah. And so far the Democrats have been great on all aspects of the, health, category, concerns, the lowering price of prescription drugs, they're making real change where the Republicans just talk about it.
Thank you. That's well said. Yeah. I totally agree. The Republicans have no platform. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump is so upset about Biden dropping out that he actually he's demanding he gets a refund
Oh, yeah.
of all the money he
Okay.
spent campaigning, all the money they spent the RNC.
Look,
He
it
wants
just
his
goes to
money
show
back.
Donald Trump just says what Donald Trump says. He doesn't understand
Well,
how anything works at
when
all.
you have
Just-
no strategy, no policies, this is what happens. You have no plan, obviously, for contingencies, and now they're freaking out. So my worry is they're going to ramp up the violent rhetoric. They're going to ramp up the racism. They're going
To their
ramp up
detriment.
the misogyny.
I think to their detriment.
I think it's just going to make them even more toxic than
well,
they
the
already
part
are.
the beauty of that statement, Michael, is that they have spent 4 years pretending January 6th didn't happen, pretending that even though it did happen, it wasn't violent, pretending that even though it was violent, it was Antifa, whatever. The point is they have spent 4 years while pretending that they are not the party of political violent rhetoric, showing that they are, in fact, the party of political violent rhetoric. And immediately when Kamala was announced as the presumptive nominee, their violent rhetoric, the thing that they trust, the thing that they love the most is what they relied on. And like you said, it's going to be to their detriment because while they cannot gain any more support, they absolutely can lose more. Definitely. And that's all we need is for them to keep being themselves and showing the people that might be in the middle that, holy crap, they are some ugly bastards and I will not vote for them. That's what we got to do.
Yeah. I hope so. God willing, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I actually feel inspired. Feel like a little bit of that pressure has been lifted off.
Yeah.
Just because back and forth. I mean, I like Joe Biden. I love what he's done. I mean, he's been one of the most successful first-term presidents in modern history, if not American history. And I feel like he got a bad rap because all they did was focused on his age.
Well,
that's all they did.
And it was a bad performance. I mean, I was
of course.
I was very disappointed.
It was.
Yeah, and I almost couldn't believe what I was thinking. But you know what, I'll just say I feel a lot more hopeful now than I did before Biden dropped out. I didn't say anything, you know, I didn't have a take on whether Biden should drop out or not. But now that he has, it's been all positive. It's just been W after W. Really,
it really has. The support has been nonstop. She's raised, I think, over 100 million now, in small grassroots donations, small donors, and has raised over 300 million, I believe it is, total.
And she's the perfect person.
Since she announced her presidential campaign, it's been like a day and a half.
Yeah, and she's the perfect person. She's the woman, you know, with all these with women's rights, you know, under attack right now. She's a prosecutor. She's gonna prosecute our case.
Yes.
And So I mean, it's just perfect. And she has a lot of energy. She's a great talker. She's great in front of audiences, I think.
She's greatly improved how comfortable she is communicating, because that was what her problem was initially. And I think we discussed this before the show. As a prosecutor, people think that it's law and order, and everyone that's a prosecutor is a great orator. No, they might be great at talking to jurors, but public speaking on the national stage is so different. And she had her awkwardness back in the campaign, and now that's gone. She is fired up, and she has done a lot to improve her ability to convey her intelligence and her fierceness and her determination. And I think that's what's going to win over people to her side. And I think that's a good way to win people. I'd rather win. I mean, look, at this point, we got to save democracy, but winning people over because they choose the better candidate. Now we're getting to a better future where democracy really works.
Yeah, we're excited. We're going, like, we you know, us Dems always rely on turnout, and this is going to bring people out. This is going to be the extra nudge that people need to get out there and vote.
I think
to get this thing done. We still got to get this thing done.
Yeah, I think it'll bring a lot of people back that were honestly just sick and tired of all the bullshit.
Yeah.
The back and
Nope.
forth, the two
Yeah.
old guys
If it can
going at
ignite
each other.
people like myself who has been following politics too long, is way too jaded with people, with humanity, with politics, with history, with reality sometimes. And again, I'm not quite admitting that I have a little hope, but I could feel the weird things stirring, and maybe it might turn into hope. And I haven't felt that in a
Let's
while.
see. Let's hope. I hope it does. I hope
Yeah.
it does. All right.
I mean, I'll even say, I'll just say, I even feel better than at any point now than at any point during the Hillary campaign, I think. Which,
Yeah.
I hope I don't eat those
Yep.
words, but I mean,
No, I
it
know.
just feels, it almost does feel like Obama level excitement. I don't know. That's where I am at right now, but we'll
How
see
about
what
this?
happens.
Because I remember the excitement it seems like it rushed over us, but it didn't. We were cautious during that. And yeah, it went up at a steady increase, but in the beginning we were like, is this real? Like, I love that guy, but can we actually expect that enthusiasm to become a national phenomenon? And it did. And I think we're so not used to feeling any positivity in politics, which is by design, by the Republicans. They want everyone miserable, by the way. So allowing ourselves the chance to feel hopeful in our politics is very foreign to most of us. But I welcome that opportunity. Let's see what happens.
It'll be a nice change of pace.
Let's build on it. Yeah.
Definitely. Michael, thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Coming on.
Anytime.
I know you've never podcasted before. You did absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
and
no,
I definitely
you're
have
welcome
to have
back
you
whenever
back
you
on
want.
the show again.
Oh, thank you so much. And you guys are great hosts.
Hey,
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun here. Thank you so much.
We do what we can with what we have to work with. So have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
It's only 6 o'clock in California. You still got your evening to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's 9:15 on the East Coast. So all right, yeah. Other than that, we'll talk to you later. I'll message you here after the show. Okay. Thanks again for
I'll see you later.
on.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
So that is all we have for today. We hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Like all of us, I think, are saying, we feel a little more upbeat, a little more positive about what's happening. I think this was a much needed move. Unfortunately, I think just Joe Biden did all he could. They were just relentlessly attacking him, and I don't think there was anything he could do to overcome it, because they were looking at literally everything he did.
Yeah.
Every slip up, every stumble up the stairs, whatever. I feel bad for the guy.
I think the irony is, and we gotta hope. We know that the media was just like, they don't care anymore. They were just glomming onto Trump's nonsense because it made stories. But man, if the media can get its head out of its own collective ass and regain that Obama hope that Michael was talking about, I don't know. Maybe we could see something really amazing. I hope so.
I think we're in for interesting. I don't think we've seen the craziest parts yet. I can't believe
we haven't seen the scariest parts yet.
It's going to be batshit crazy for the next few months. That I can guarantee. So, but other than that, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks again for watching. And like always, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Shamala's body was giving out, but there was someone always holding her hand and telling her stories to remind them both of happier times. Her daughter Kamala had a demanding job, but you do what it takes for the people you love, for the person who raised her. Kamala's mom passed away, but in her final moments, she asked a nurse, "Are my daughters going to be okay?" That's what care looks like. It's why we do what we do every day, at work, at home, for our country. And that's why Kamala Harris is unshakable in her support for paid family and medical leave, affordable quality child care, and home care for seniors and people with disabilities, so you can know your loved ones are going to be okay.